Hello all and welcome to the latest Craft Mania Sunday Showcase. I'm Jamie and I'm going to be your host today as I take you through one of the most jam-packed Sunday Showcases I think we have ever had. Today I have a whole host of new dyes that we are launching, as well as the introduction of Flowersoft. If you haven't heard of Flowersoft before, it's a product that's been around a few years, but it's absolutely brilliant. And hopefully by having a little look over a few of the cards I'm going to be talking about in more detail later, you can see already how beautiful it is to work with to give you these really lovely textured flowers. There are so many ways in which we can use it and so many different effects we can create. I want to take you and show you how to do those just briefly, and then I'm going to show you all of the different products that we have today for you. We have several offer bundles as well, so if this is something that's new to you, you might want to save big and go for a bundle. And then I promise we'll come back and look for all the different cards and projects I've got. I think I've actually got something about like 12 or 13 of them today to show you and hopefully give you a few ideas. So let's take you and introduce you to Flowersoft. As I say, if you haven't heard of it before, it has been around a while, but it is brilliant. It's one of them products that really needs to be ranted and raved over. This is how it actually comes to you. You're going to get it in these little packets. It comes in several different colours that we'll be showing you again shortly. They're quite compact, so you do get quite a lot in here for your money. I would highly recommend when you get them, if you pop it into a different container. These are my containers from my porridge, but they're perfect. Any container will do, but it just aerates it and it'll make it easier for you to use and certainly saves you trying to pop it back in them bags because that ain't easy. Now, there are several products in the Flowersoft collection that we'll be looking at, and they of course do come in your bundle offers as well. Not only do we have the Flowersoft in several colours, they also do their own glue. I would highly recommend this. The bottle is really good and easy to use. It has a fine tip to it, so if you do want to draw names or words, like my little example I've got here for you, you can do. It's not difficult at all. You don't have to squeeze too hard. It's not too runny. It really is good glue. And it dries clear and it dries quite quickly, which are all things you're going to want when you're working with Flowersoft. So they really have done their homework and got you a good glue here. We also have Flowersoft wires, if I can keep hold of them. Flowersoft wires are quite nice because they're paper coated, which does actually give you a few more options than normal beading wire, which tends to just be metal, which limits you to how we can use it. So they have, once again, done quite well with these. You get 10 in a packet. You can see they're quite large wires, so they are going to do you quite well, and there's a lot we can do with these as well. Talking of the wires, I quite like to colour them. I find when you do your flowers on them in white, that's a little bit unrealistic because of obviously stems to flowers are usually green. So there is obviously a way around this. If you take an alcohol marker, you can just colour over this. Because it is paper covered, it will colour really easily and you can then have green stems, which I think look a lot better. Obviously this does mean you could colour it in many other colours for different projects depending on what it is you wish to do with it. But for our flowers, green's good. You can cut it with ordinary scissors. Obviously don't use your best scissors, but it does cut quite easily. Or of course if you've got some wire snips, they would help as well. But it's quite simple to cut. To use your wires, if that's the style of flower you wish to work with this to create, which is more like the 3D bush flowers, there's a few here I've already been working on that I'm saving for another project. But to create that style of flower, if you read the bottle, they tell you to use the thin nib and work around the actual wire. I found that a little bit tricky, so I cheated. I've just dipped mine instead. If you take the lid off, you can just dip your wire in it, get as much glue as you wish to, and then just a bit, it reminds me of making candy floss. If you just sort of scoop around in your pot to pick up as many bits as you wish to. Now the good bit with the glue is because it's quite wet, if you find that you don't like the shape of your flower, you can sort of manipulate it without getting too covered in glue because all the Flowersoft fibres are covering the glue. So you can sort of shape it a bit if you wish to. I would highly recommend a mat because if you can just pop them into your mat and leave them. Depends how much glue you've put on it, how big a flower you've created, but I would just leave them for about half hour to an hour depending on what you're doing with them and let them set on their own so that they're not going to be damaged when you pick them up. As you can see, I've been making rows and rows of mine depending on all the different colours I wanted for today's projects. I have cheated this week. Normally I tell you how I've made all of my stuff in one day. Well, today I have cheated. I've been a bit addicted to this and it arrives a little bit early in the week and I've been off on loads of different tangents doing different bits of it. So I had got quite a lot ready made for today. Obviously, you can make your stems how I've shown you like this, but I actually, and I've confessed this before, I know nothing about flowers. I'm really, really bad with flowers. But I do have a favourite, and I love wisteria. I don't know why, it's a bit of an odd one, but I've always liked wisteria. So I wanted to try and create my own version of wisteria. Now, it's probably not perfect, but it's quite easy to create. And I wanted to talk to you about this one before I take you off and show you all the different bits, because it is a little bit more tricky than what we've been doing just to create our first stem. But it's that, but just an extension. So what you're going to do is you're going to make loads of them little stems in whichever colour you wish to. I've tried to stick obviously to lavender. I've also done a white version, but we'll come to that a little while later. But you make all of your different stems. You take your wire, and to begin with, colour your wire green so you've got a good base colour on it already. Cover the whole thing in glue, obviously depending how long you want your wisteria stem to be. This is a half a stem. The white one, when I show you that a little later, that's actually a full stem. But take your wire, colour it green, cover it in glue, and then use the green Flowersoft to go over the top of it. Let that dry, then pick out all of your little stems you've created and wrap them around your wire however you wish to. Now, because I didn't want the wire showing at the top of them, I've then gone over the top and added more of my Flowersoft. The good bit about putting the Flowersoft on first, you might wonder why you do that, it will give you the ability to squidge this into it, and it saves them just moving around. That will actually give it enough body that it will hold your wisteria pieces in place, so you can add more to it and then add more of the actual green over the top of them to cover your wires. I hope that made sense. If it didn't and you've got any questions at all, of course don't hesitate to ask me and I'll run through it again for you. But it is just loads of them hung on to just strings, and then we can decorate them however we wish to. As I say, I have done a white one and I will show you that a little later. It's actually even had some glitter added to it, and we'll chat about this one again in some more detail shortly. But so far I've shown you how we can of course use it to write with, how we can make our normal flowers if we wish to, how you can also make your wisteria, and then one of the ones I quite like, which is a bit of a modern version, so this has been around a long time, use it with your dies. These are just ordinary die cut flowers. You may recognise these, we launched these on a showcase a little while back now, but they're perfect for adding your Flowersoft to make quite real looking flowers. Another thing you can do with them, of course, is add them to toppers. So here are 3 I've added to already. This is actually the collection of 6 that you get in your packet for £1.25. But as you can see, I've just added Flowersoft to all of these little bits around here. Now the good bit is because it fills in quite a lot of the base of your card, these flowers are actually blue, but I didn't have a blue Flowersoft, and I felt this colour matched in much better with the rest of the picture than the blue. So instead I've just gone over it with those ones. But again, really easy. Just pick wherever you want it to be and just highlight it with some glue. You don't have to be too exact, and if you decide that you want to add more flowers, you can. It's not a problem, because you're not going to see underneath it. You can add in as much as you want to or as little as you wish to. It really is one of them, just a highlighting job really. And then when you feel you're happy with it, just tip it on again like we would anything else. Let's pick a different colour actually. I have all these little jars hidden away under the table with all my different colours in. This one's the one I've done the others with, so we'll stick to this so you can see a bit of a better idea of it. And there's your topper just added with that little bit of texture. Now obviously you're seeing the glue here as white, which doesn't help. When the glue dries it does go clear, and we get rid of the sort of clunkiness of it, and you're left with just the delicate bit like you can see on the 3 beneath you. But they are great. They're so easy to do, so that's another option you've got for it as well. One of the things I haven't done with mine, which was on the list but I didn't quite get there, is use it in shaker cards. Now we do a white one of these, so if you want it to look like snow in a shaker card, that's a really good way that you can just add it in. If you've got Father Christmases already done and you want to just give him a better beard or a more detail to his hat or his cuffs of his uniform, I like that outfit, you can do, not a problem. Just add on some of that and add on the white, it looks really lovely. So that's a different use for it as well. So that's sort of the basics in it. Let's get to actually showing you the different options and ways you can buy it, and then I'll show you the cards like I promised. So colour-wise, there is several options. These are $3.99 a packet. We have Spring, which obviously is quite a nice bright yellow one. They were the ones I haven't used that much, if I'm honest. simply because I'd got them on my board ready made, but I didn't actually get to use them. So they do look beautiful. I'm not colour prejudiced to it at all. It is a lovely colour. It just didn't quite fit with as much as what I've done today, but it is a lovely one. So you've got spring, you've got sweet pea, which is the one I just showed you going onto the toppers. We have crocus, meadow, Christmas green, heather, peony pink, vintage Christmas, and polar white. So they're all your different shades. There's nothing stopping you mixing them as well. This is something that's quite a nice little hint. I'm quite messy when I work, very messy in fact. And I actually have a whole tub of all of the bits left behind from where I've been quite a mess. So why not make up your own colours? Nothing is wasted. You can certainly use that on a different project, and you could actually, as you can see, I'm so messy, you can make up quite a bit of that. Or if there are colours ways that you want to create, why not mix your own? It won't hurt at all. Onto your wires. Your wires are £1. As I say, you do get 10 in there for your money, so it's only 10p a wire, and as I show you, they're quite long, so they're quite good value for what you're doing, and you're certainly going to get a good few flowers out of per stem, let alone out of a packet, so they do work out quite well. We then have your Flowersoft glue, which is just £2.99, and again, I would highly recommend that, especially when you compare it to other glues and PVAs and tacky glues and that. That really did do the trick a lot better than any of the others I tried, and trust me, I tried. The mats we spoke about, they are on their own, because I know a lot of you have already got pricking mats or embossing mats, but if you do want one of those, code MAT, and they're just £1. Going back to your Flowersoft bits, if you do wish to buy the collection for that, obviously you can buy all of the things I've shown you individually, but we do have a mega Flowersoft bundle. This is worth £39.89p, and you can buy it for just £35. So obviously, as you can see, that gives you one of all of your colours of your Flowersoft, a bottle of the glue, and a packet of the wires. So you really are ready to get going from that moment on, and you've got loads of fun ahead of you. As I say, I had one of everything, and I've managed to make loads of stuff with it. So value for money wise, you're certainly going to get a good lot out of that. Let's chat about the dies. Now, I've shown you a couple of sneaky peeks of the cards, so you've probably guessed some of them already, but there is a whole host of them to tease you with. Now, these again can be bought individually, or we do have a mega die bundle for you as well. So first of all, we have the scroll, the feather, and the ink. Or the quill, I should call that, shouldn't I? Not the feather, sorry. This is code D1300, and it's £9.99 if you wish to buy it on its own. Next up, we have the tree. Now, I love the tree. I have a feeling that will sell out really, really quickly. We do have quite a lot of them, but that doesn't mean you should be safe in this. Get in while you can, because I think they're going to go fast. In here, you also get a squirrel and two little birdies, which are just really, really cute. Code for this is D132F, and on its own, it's £10.99. We then have a new vintage style creator card die. Now this one is D1280, on its own it's £15.99, and it's quite nice because they'll give you another oval in the middle here as well, so if you want to you can layer it up and use your oval for different things. We'll come to that in a little while, but there is quite a lot we can do with that one. It's a really lovely die to work with. We then have what I would class as an essential die. Now this has nothing to do with flowers, Flowersoft or anything else in the world. You really could use it for just about any occasion at all. It's actually part of an Indian collection, or an Oriental collection I should say, but it's perfect. We can do so much with it, it fits in really well with today's cards. Code for this is D1290, and on its own it's just £13.99. The next one we're bringing you today is our signpost with two different pieces that you can hang from it depending on the size and style you wish to go for. Of course, that would be great for new homes, sentiments for just about anything. It looks really nice if you want to dress it up for Christmas as well. So many options for this one. It's only £9.99 on its own, and the code for this one is 7490. Lastly, for your single dies is our fence, and this one is 9420. On its own, it's £6.99. Now again, with a fence, there's quite a few things we can do with that, so you'll see different variations of use as we go through today's video. If you wish to buy that lot of dies, as I say, you can of course buy them individually, but this is a Sunday showcase, so we do like to offer you a bargain. This week and this week only, you can buy them as your mega die bundle. Now the recommended retail price for that collection is £67.94p. If you wish to buy them as one go, you can have them for just £50. So obviously that's giving you a whole host of dies for your money and a really lovely set to work with. I've had great fun today working with the bits I've had to play about with, so I think you're really going to like them if you do get hold of them. We also have 3 dies that we've brought back. Now these are ones that have featured on previous Sunday showcases, so we didn't want to include them in your bundles because we know quite a few of you will already have them. But what we are going to do, as they're not in any form of bundle, we're going to give you 20% off of the normal price for them. So this is just for you Sunday Showcase watchers or viewers. So if you do wish to pop in store and collect them, you're not going to find this discount marked on them on the shelf. You will have to mention Sunday Showcase to the member of staff that serves you. If you're shopping online, then they will be reduced so you can see that quite clearly, don't worry. And of course they will just go into your basket at the reduced price. The first one obviously is your leaves. Now these are great to put into little displays with your flowers. We really can dress them up in so many ways and they really do fit in size wise with your flowers perfectly. Code for this is D36F. They're normally $5.99 but with your 20% off this week they're only £4.79 for that one. The next one was in high demand when this came out. This is your butterfly grass die. We really struggled to get hold of these for months when they launched because they were so popular. Code for this one is D15F. It should be $5.99, but on your 20% off this week it's only £4.79. And then your next one, this one's a bit more recent. This was only on a showcase a little while ago, but it's brilliant. And one of the bits I really like about this is the little tufty bit of grass. And of course these tiny little butterflies, which I would have seen on my wisteria card I showed you a little while ago. But the flowers are just great to dress up with the Flowersoft. They really do look good. Code for this one is D111F. It was $9.99, but this week only just $7.99. Now, as I say, those 3 will not be in any bundles today. So if you do want them, you do have to buy them separately. We just didn't want to overload you with things you may already have. Now, lastly, we have our Essentials pack. Now, these have been going like wildfire. We launched our Essentials packs a couple of weeks ago and we just haven't been able to keep hold of them. They just constantly keep selling out and we know a lot of you have been disappointed in this. We've tried our best this time to get as many as we possibly can, but we know we're not going to reach demand. So if you do want them, please get in quickly while we've got them. Your Essentials bundle this time includes £17.69 worth of products and you can purchase it for just £12. So you're saving £5.69, which is a really nice saving on everyday products. Now in here we are launching a brand new colour, or 2 brand new colours actually, of our Pearl card. Now these you can normally buy in store in packs of 10, but in your bundle today you're getting a pack of 10 of the light one and 10 of the dark one, and they are our ice champagne. So you've got light ice champagne and dark ice champagne, 10 of each of them, and they're a really nice pearl card which just looks beautiful when inked and coloured and really lovely to be working with your Flowersoft as well. You also get 4 12 by 12 sheets. Now these vary in price from the different brands, but they're all double-sided and you're going to see these on my cards today. They really are lovely to work with. We also have the topper sheet that I was showing you a little while ago because we know you're going to want to get your hands on those, so we've included that as well. We also are going to give you 4 sheets of each of the colours of card I've been using for the majority of my cuts. So you're going to see a lot of the browns for the trees and then the different greens in the flowers and the grasses that are going to be used throughout the cards. So that's your 3 different bundles as such. As I say, this is only £12. The one thing I forgot to tell you about, which is actually one of the most important, is your spring boxes. Now these are brilliant. I'm going to actually show you how to make one of these in a little while, just very quickly. I have shown you it before, but I'm just going to show you how easy they are to fold, but that's at the other end and we're going to go there next so I can show you your super value bundle, and I'll show you this up there. But you are going to get 5 of these in your essential pack and they're lovely to work with, really easy to do, and will give you that certain box effect for you to put all your different trees and bits into. So, as I said, there is another bundle. This is your super value bundle if you wish to purchase that. And that is basically everything I've just shown you. This is actually worth £125.47p. And you can buy it for just £97. So that gives you all of the dies from the bundle, all of your different cardstock papers, your champagne card, all of the Flowersoft stuff, and of course your spring box cards as well. and that's just £97. We've basically just put everything together for you, is in all the separate offers. So if you do find it easier to just say, I want all of it, and click the button to order it, it's going to be on one photo for you to do and save you finding all the individual bits. Equally, if you do wish to order it on Facebook or YouTube or by text, you can of course just text us the code SUPERVALUE MEGA BUNDLE. I know these codes are getting quite long, I apologise, but that way you can have all of that lot held for you in one foul swoop. Now, as I promised, I'm going to show you your springy boxes. So this is already die cut. It's ever so simple to work with. Let's bring it over here so hopefully you can see it. They just pop out really, oh, come off you. So it comes out of there. The bit in the middle you just push out. And then you can already see it's all pre-creased for you. So you're just going to fold against all of those crease lines. And very quickly you will see that we end up with a box. Everything just goes backwards. So you don't have to worry about where you're going in which direction. And then you're just going to glue these tabs in place. And very quickly you will see that we basically end up with a box with a giant hole in the middle, which is great because it means that we can decorate that in so many different ways. Now obviously when you're gluing this is a little bit neater, but I don't want to keep you waiting because I have shown you these before. But that is actually how you make your box. You also get your two little bars on the side here. These are attached. I don't know how well you're going to see this being white on white, so we're going to take one of them out just so you can see it. But these are your little bars that go in the side. Again, they're pre-creased and ready to attach, and they fill out the sides where there's a gap. If you don't wish to pop them in, you also get springy bits, which are shown here on the diagram. The springy bits can go in your box and they actually make up the sides. So if we bring you down a couple of diagrams to this one, you can see that you can attach things on different levels. So if you want to 3D your sheets, you can do, or of course in our world we could attach different trees and flowers and bits coming out from each level if you wish to create a different effect. It's like doing decoupage without actually having to use your foam pads and bits, because the springy sides actually give you the ability to fit the bits in for you. And they're already in here. You get 5 of them springy mechanisms in your pack as well. Whether you buy it as part of the Super Value bundle, if you buy it as part of the Essential pack, or if you just wish to buy those on your own, you can do. The boxes do come on their own. You can buy 5 of them in a packet for just £5.25. Code for that is code BOX. So, let's take you through a few of the cards. So let's start at this end and then we'll work up to those ones you see a little sneaky peek of earlier. So starting here with our card number 1, we of course have the Creator Card Vintage Die. As I said, it does give you the oval to cut out this bit for you as well. It also cuts out the oval from the middle of it too, which is quite handy because we can use that to make our little wrapper for our flowers. By just bringing in the 2 sides and gluing it, you can actually make your packaging for your flowers, which is quite nice, isn't it? I've inked mine. You're going to see these on quite a few of them, but it's just a nice way to use that oval and really simple to do to create your little bouquet of flowers. Of course, in here we have quite a few different colours from our actual Flowersoft. We can see the Sweet Pea and the Heather for definite. We also have the tiny little leaves that comes off of your set of leaves that you get your 20% off at the moment. So they're the $4.79 leaves, and there's a couple of them hidden in there too. So that it really does show you how you can really mix and match between the different bits we've got for you today to create stunning cards. Moving on, I think this is one of the first Christmas cards I've actually done for you on a Sunday Showcase. I might be wrong, but I think it's one of the first. This time we've gone for the Vintage Christmas in your Flowersoft. This is just an ordinary 3D die-cut decoupage sheet, and I've just gone over all of the ready greeny bits and added in my Flowersoft, and then I've added the white in to make the snow. I'm hoping you can see that well here. I know cameras can be a bit tricky sometimes. I've also added the Snow White one, or the Polar White one I should call it, over my die cut too on the side here, just to give you a bit of texture onto my cut. It's quite an easy one to do, but hopefully one that's quite nice and you quite like it. Of course, the green card in the background here is one of the ones that you're going to get in your Essential pack and your Super Value bundle pack. Our next one, I'm on a bit of a scrapbooky style kick at the moment, so this is a bit more like a picture album or a mini album, or of course you could just stand it on the side of the photo album, or of course you could add more pages if you wanted to, or we could just put covers on it and call it a really nice card. I've 3D'd the side so it can be a bit bigger if I wanted it to be. I haven't decorated the other side just for speed, but I wanted to show you this style because I also wanted to point out to you how we could use your creator card style die and match it side by side just by covering up the elements that give it away that we've actually got one of them upside down. So again, I've used my cardstock. This is the champagne cardstock. I've inked over the top of it with distress inks, which is quite nice because again, I don't think you're going to pick it up too well. But because we've distressed over it, it's kept the shimmer of the pearl to it. So it's given you a really nice colour scheme. We've got another one of the ovals out of the middle turned into our little bouquet. And then inside here, we've got quite a few colours of our Flowersoft again going on. We've got the sweet pea and the heather for sure. And then we've got them really nice little die-cut flower leaves hidden in there again. And then over this side, we've got the same creator card die turned up the other way. Another one of the die-cut ovals from the middle, which is worth noticing as well. That one they've given you in the middle is obviously the perfect size to pop back, and it gives you this really nice little edge to it as well, which I thought looked quite good. Then of course we have our scroll and our little quill, and I thought they were beautiful. Again, if you are in a scrapbooking mood or you are a scrapbooker, what a brilliant way to add journaling to your pages. You'll get to see that on one of my projects shortly, but I just think they were quite lovely. I've just gone over mine with a script stamp just to tie it in, but there's a lot we could do with them if you wish to. On top of my quill, I've also added the white Flowersoft. I don't know how well you're going to pick that up either, but it does just give you a nice texture to your feather. I've also distressed around the edges of it, and the Flowersoft does take the distressing too, so if you want to tone it down a bit, you certainly can do. There's nothing stopping you adding more products to the top of this to give you different colourways and different effects. Moving on to our next project, I'm going to take you up this way. Oh, this I haven't completed. I'm going to be honest, this was something I was working on and I've just run out of time. This was going to be the middle of an exploding box, to give you an idea. So I've taken my tree, I've made a couple of them, stuck them back to back to make my little 3D tree, and then I've used the Meadow Flowersoft over the top of it to give me my toned in tree. The fence at the bottom here obviously is from the die, and if I've just cut two of them, folded them in half, and then it'll leave one overhanging for you to just join it and make it into a little square if you wish to. Of course, with this fence, you could shape it and use it in so many different ways, but I did think that would make quite a nice little middle to an exploding box. Throw in a few of your flowers and maybe an odd squirrel or two out of one of your dies from your tree set, and you really are going to have a stunning exploding box style card, aren't you? So, onto the cards again. Let's have a little look at my wisteria one now in more detail. So of course for our wisteria one we have the crocus Flowersoft, and you've got the Christmas green for the actual colouring of it. Die wise we've got them really tiny little butterflies that you're going to get out of the set with all the individual flowers, which you're getting 20% off this week. The fence is also worth noticing. The fence, if you put it into your box before you put your sides in, it will actually hold it in place for you, and there's like a panel glued underneath this, hopefully that makes sense, but it will keep it nice and in place. I've used the oval from my signpost one to add on to the front here for my little topper, and of course we've got one of the boxes which I've just decorated with a little ribbon around the edges of it just to tone in. I was going for quite a simplistic idea with this one. In the background you're also seeing more of that lovely champagne cardstock, which really does give you a nice little shimmer to go behind the wisteria. Now, as I said, I did do a white version of the wisteria. Now, I liked it, but I also thought it lacked a little something, so I attacked it with some glitter. And then I decided that it would make a perfect Christmas card. Now obviously we don't get wisteria at Christmas, so we're just going to call this a snowflower instead. Or insert your own name for it if you will, because I'm useless for flowers. But I'm sure there must be a pretty glittery white flower at Christmas that we can claim it as. So this is one of the bigger ones. As I said, this is a whole wire used here. I actually, and I didn't explain this to you earlier, but I used 2 wires and twisted them together to give it some more stability, because I didn't really know what I was going to do with it when I was making it, and I felt if it was going to be overhanging a 3D project or something, it might want a little bit more gumption to it. So there is actually 2 wires wrapped around, then do your green over the top, then add on all of your floral bits, and then do a bit more green over the top of that. It wasn't until actually 2 days after I'd made it did I add the glitter. So if you don't worry, you can always go back to it and do that. You don't have to mix the glitter in with it while you're making your flowers. sure you could if you wanted to, but it's nicer to add it at the end, I felt personally. Of course, in the middle we just have another one of our 3D sheets, and of course we're in another one of our boxes, and again you're seeing some of the cardstock you're going to get in your essentials packs going on there too. On to our next one. Now this one's a waterfall card, and I quite like the idea of showing you how we could use our different elements to make a bit of a stepper. So of course we have two of the trees, and I've actually used one of these on the back of it because I didn't want them to look the same, so I've actually flipped one of them, so I'm working on the back side from it, and I've used my Christmas green Flowersoft on that. In here we have the really lovely signpost. I love this, I think that's brilliant. Another one I think will go really quickly. We've of course used the oval from the middle of that. I don't know if you're going to see it, I've even put some of the green Flowersoft down in the crack of the card so it looks like there's some grass in there too. I've cut up the one that's the butterfly grass to make this little bit in front of the signpost. This is it used in full. I've actually used two of them and overlapped them to fill out that panel. And then on the front row here, we've got obviously the large flowers from your single flower set, again with your 20% off to make all of the different flowers along there. And we can't miss the little squirrel, because I think the squirrel is so cute. He comes obviously in with a tree, and you get two birds in with that as well. We'll get to see the birds in a moment. And then of course at the very front we have the fence used once again. On the side here I've just added a little topper just to match it all in, but of course one of the good bits for this is although it's got quite a lot of detail on it, we can fold it up and it does go quite flat if you wish to post it or send it. So although it's got lots of detail to it, it's not something that's going to cost you a fortune to post. Now, as I said earlier, I am in a bit of a scrapbooky mood, so I also did a page. Now, this paper is in your Essentials bundle, your paper pack bundle, and it of course comes in the Super Value pack. Now, it's worth mentioning, you might not actually pick up on this, but it's got Flowersoft on top of the flowers, dotted across here, just to give you some more texture. It matches in so well to the colours of the page that a couple of people I've shown this to today didn't even notice it. But I quite like that. That's when I feel you're doing something right. If it isn't screaming at you that it's in the wrong place, then that's sort of a bonus. Again, in our little packet here, we've got lots of different flowers going on, and I've got several different colour schemes going on in that one. We of course have the heather and the sweet pea. We also have the peony pink. Sorry, I can't read it this far away, I'm as blind as a bat. So peony pink in this one as well to give you a different colour scheme. And we have our little fences. Now the fences are quite cool because if you fold them back and forth like I have here, if you get one of these you can actually bring it round and turn it into a little wheel. Now you can add in as many as you want to make your wheels as big or as small as you wish. One fence in my world made half of a wheel, so if you do wish to you could add in another one, or of course if you want bigger wheels just keep on adding them. But they are quite fun for that, and I thought they made quite nice little rosettes. A nice idea for something that most people would just look at and see as a fence, so a good trick and a good value for money tip. In the background of the dies here we have that really nice panel one. I loved this. I thought this just looked so classy and elegant. As I say, it is a bit of a random one and can be used for just about any occasion, but I do think it's beautiful and I hope you like that one. Moving on, we have your vintage creator card die. Of course I've inked this one to give you a different idea. I've added another photo using the die from the middle of it, and then on the front of the page here we have our little quill and scribe again, and as I said, these are perfect for journaling, so there's no reason why you couldn't use them on all of these scrapbook pages. I know Viv, who is going to be teaching our crops in Flowersoft, is very excited to get her hands on one of those. She's already ordered that one. She's been a bit sneaky and got in before everybody else, but don't panic, we do have quite a few of them and she will get hers last, don't worry. But it is lovely, so if you do like the look of that one, don't miss out on it. If you haven't heard of our crops, we are launching 2 new crops, one in Yarmouth and one in Flowersoft. How our crops will be working is you'll be given a kit full of goodies. Your kit is actually worth more than £10, but your entrance fee is £10. So you'll be saving money from entry already because your kit will be worth that little bit more. Your kit will be jam-packed full of goods that you can come along and use. You'll be with us for 3 hours. In Yarmouth you'll be hosted by Anna, and in Flowersoft it'll be hosted by Viv. Both of them are brilliant, they're full of ideas and ready and raring to go. Both of them have done a lot of scrapbooking, got a lot of techniques under their belts, and will be able to advise you how to get the best out of your different themed packs throughout your different classes. It will be meeting every other week. The Yarmouth one is on Saturdays. It starts on the 5th of May in Yarmouth. It will go on from 1:30 till 4:30. In Lowestoft with Viv, that will be launching on Thursday the 10th of May, and again starts at 1:30, goes on to 4:30. Not only will we get your theme pack, you will also be given a whole host of different things to play with, including dyes and glitters and inks and things like that. Every time you come, you'll be given different products to experiment with, and of course on hand will be all of our trimmers and tools and glues, so you don't have to bring anything with you other than you and your photos. So if you haven't seen them, look on the events page on our Facebook to have a little look through and see how they'll be working and the different theme packs that are coming up for them. So back to our cards. We'll go to the one at the back here next. Now this is one of my faves. I really like this one. Not that I often say that, but I did quite like this. Again, we have that frame in it that I keep ranting and raving about. I really do love this. It's cut out of our ice champagne again. I've stamped over it with a script stamp, and then of course on the front here we've got the butterfly grass die, 2 of them again, covered in loads of different colours of the Flowersoft. And then we've got our really lovely signpost, which I'm trying to aim for it to look like it's been wrapped around by our flowers, again using our Flowersoft. And of course we've got the little oval that comes with it too. The fence on the front, I've actually made a little acetate bar just by scoring my acetate and attaching it to the back of the mat, bringing it up and then putting acetate at the front here to go underneath my fence. And the acetate actually ends roughly at where the bar is. So you shouldn't see the acetate, but it's nice and strong and they're ready. Of course this does mean you would have to put the card in a box, but I think it's worth it just to get that nice 3D effect, so hopefully you like that one. That led me to do the next one, and I wanted to go a bit bigger and bolder, so I've added in more of my acetate this time, actually scoring it in a couple of places to give me different areas to attach things. So on this one we have our fence at the beginning, a really cute little squirrel again that you get in with a tree. Your butterfly grasses, this time on the bottom of the grasses I've used the meadow colour of the Flowersoft. Colours of the Flowersoft on the actual flowers, we've got a whole host going on there. You've got your peony one, you've got the heather one, we've got the crocus one. There really is a little bit of all of them. That's why you need the bundle. You're really going to need the bundle. And then on the tree, obviously, we've got the meadow one again. The tree die, as I said earlier, does come with the birds, so all 3 of the little birds on that come with that too. So again, you're going to need the tree too. I'm sorry, this isn't going to be a cheap week. You're just going to need lots of stuff, but hopefully you'll really enjoy playing with it, and I hope that you will. I think you're really going to love this stuff. I know I have anyway. I've had a great fun. Moving on, I wanted to show you another one of our decoupage sheets. Just this again, really, really simple card. I haven't really faffed about this one too much. I just wanted to show you how well we could match in the Flowersoft to different flowers and different products. So I've just obviously layered my decoupage as I normally would, and then added in the odd clump here and there of the Flowersoft on top of some of them. And as I said earlier, I've even added in a few places where there shouldn't be flowers, but just to build it up and make it all look a bit more floral and built in properly. But I did quite like that effect, so hopefully you do. But it's a nice way just to convert them. So many of these sheets now are coming out where they're just not putting on the same amount of effort for some of the brands. This is a nice way for you to do it too. I know a lot of you like toppers and bits. This really is a nice way for you to make them a bit more individual and glitz them up a little bit more, give them a bit more texture. Moving on, this is the only card I think I've made today without any Flowersoft on it, to be truthful with you. But I decided I wanted to show you this because I think this is beautiful. This is what is left behind after you've cut out your tree. This is actually the waste, the bit that we normally throw in the bin unless we're really, really frugal. And I wanted to show you how we could use that. So I've stenciled through it onto a piece of my dark champagne cardstock. I've actually stenciled through using distress inks, the green at the top, and then a bit of brown underneath for the trunk, but you can't really see that. I've stamped in the middle of it a nice verse in black, and then I've gone round over the top of the bit that I was left with and inked round it as well, and stamped my script stamp over the top of that. Of course, we've got the little fence at the front here that I've also inked just to tone it down a bit because it was originally white, and then I've used some nice music paper to go with it as well. As I say, it's just a really quick and simple card, and one that's sort of really frugal and cheap because we've used up something that I know a lot of us would throw in the bin. On to our next card, and my last project for today. This is another one of our shadow boxes, and this time I've actually inked it. There's nothing meaning that you can't. I didn't tell you that, But on the Christmas one I showed you a little while ago, I actually covered this one in paper. Cover them, ink them, stamp them. There's so many ways you can use them spring boxes. There's so much we can do. So this one I've just stressed over it in yellow. I've then stamped over the top of it in script. On the inside I've inked it in blues instead. I've attached my fence the same as I was on about earlier with the other one. Again, my little cute squirrel, just because I think they're really lovely. And then I've added the tree coming actually out of the box this time. Adding the little bird on here to hide where I foam padded it in place. But of course you could add another squirrel if you wanted to. On the front here we've got a bit of the butterfly grass style die cut down again. Then we've got another one of the loose dies added in behind it and beside it, just to really try and tone that in a bit more. We then have the signpost coming up out of the top here. I've cut this myself, it's not one of the dies, but there's no reason you can't add your own signs to our signpost, and of course that gives us different options. In the background here we've got more of the grass one going on, and then again little birdies in the top. So really simple again to create and just fun. I really can't stress enough how much fun I've had this week playing with these. I know a lot of you are going to say I need to get out more. You're possibly right, but I think when you're a crafter and you enjoy this sort of stuff, it's just really addictive, and I've just really enjoyed making all the different flower bits. So that concludes all of my different samples for you today. As I say, all of this lot will go onto Pinterest, so if you wish to pop on there and pin any of these so you can revisit them at a later date, of course you can. Our video, as always, doesn't go anywhere, so if you do wish to come back to this months or years down the line, you can of course do that, so you can have a little look through these ideas once again. Before I leave you, let's run you through all of your different products really quickly, just in case you weren't too sure on anything, and then I promise I'll leave you to get on with your day. So we have your Flowersoft, several colours. We have got Spring, Sweet Pea, Crocus, Meadow, Christmas Green, Heather, Peony Pink, Vintage Christmas and Polar White. Now they are all $3.99 if you wish to buy them separately. Your wires are £1 a pack. You get 10 wires in there for your £1, and then we of course have your glue. Your glue is $2.99 for the bottle. If you wish to buy all of your Flowersoft bits in one bundle, you can do. That is Mega Flowersoft Bundle. It's worth $39.89 and yours for just £35. Die-wise, of course, we have your Mega Die Bundle, which will give you all of the different dies, worth £67.94p for just £50. But if you don't wish to buy the bundle, you can, of course, buy them individually. Individually, you can have the fence for just $6.99, the signpost for $9.99, a really lovely frame for $13.99, your vintage creator card die for $15.99, the very beautiful tree for $10.99, or of course your scroll and quill and bottle of ink for just $9.99. Don't forget, of course, as I warned you earlier, we do have your essential pack, which may well sell out. Your essential pack is only £12. It gives you £17 and 69p worth of stuff in it. And as you've seen, it's dotted for a lot of my cards. You can get a lot of stuff out of that lot. All of your free bundles, if you do wish to purchase them as part of your super value mega bundle, that's worth £125 and 47p, and you can buy all of that for just £97. Obviously excluded are your free little dies that we've seen quite a lot of dotted through my cards as well. We have your leaves, which should be $5.99, they're reduced to just £4.79 and available separately. Your butterfly grass, which should be $5.99, is only £4.79. And then all of your individual flowers and grass and butterfly, which should be $9.99, but is only $7.99. All of these offers end at 5 PM on Saturday the 28th of April 2018. I doubt a lot of this will make it as far as that, so if you do want to get it while we've got it. As always, you can order via text, not a problem. Day or night, you can text us and we will have your order held for you in either of our stores. Of course, you can choose to collect from Great Yarmouth or Flowersoft, not a problem. You can, of course, request to have your items held via our Facebook page or our YouTube page, not a problem either. Or if you wish to, you can pop onto our website where you can see all of the bits that I've shown you today, including all of the cards that are all pictured on there for you to have a little look through if you do want to close up on those too. If you do go online and you wish to order, then you get free P&P in the UK for all orders over £35. If it's under £35, it's a flat rate of £2.75. If you're living outside the UK and you wish to order, that isn't a problem at all. We literally send anywhere in the world. This week, our most popular shoppers have been New Zealand. We've sent more parcels to New Zealand than anywhere else in the world, all added together this week. So hello New Zealand, and thank you very much for all of your orders. If you are shopping internationally, check out our frequently asked questions page to find out how our international shipping works. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to ask. Again, you can message us through the website, you can talk to us on Facebook, or if you are on YouTube, you can of course ask us questions there too. Our current subscriber number is 770. Now last week I was telling you how we were really hoping to hit 750. We've blown that out of the water and we're now heading for 800 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube yet, please do. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you on next Sunday when I have another new Sunday showcase for you. Bye for now.